Okay. I have not done this before, so this is a first, but I wanted to share my worm bin, something I'm super excited about. So all that I did was take a little tub. I'm gonna turn the camera around if I can figure that out. And it's just a plastic tub. And you want one that is dark in color. You don't want one that you can see through, so the light doesn't get through. And then you're going to want to drill holes for ventilation. And later, I didn't do any around the top corners, but I'll probably do some, a few more around the top corners there. And then, so if this is a little shaky, you'll have to be forgiving. So for bedding, I have taken some newspapers, and they don't use any bad dyes. They use food dyes now. So the only rule with the newspapers that I would say don't use the shiny paper. Make sure it's still the rough newspaper. You can see I've got paper towels from my coffee. So that'll work too, rather than throwing them in the trash. I just put it in my worm bin, and so I got some worms from Farmer John, and along with a little bit of the soil. You're gonna want a little bit of soil for them to have the grit. That helps with the process of, just saw something crawl. So there's a worm right there. They go to hide. And then when they get healthy, you see these right here are worm eggs. So I'll have babies soon. I need to feed them. There's more worm eggs. It's a good sign right here. I need to feed them, but you can see I started up with very little soil in here, so they're doing well. I give them my leftover coffee grinds. I let it dry out just a little. You want it moist in here, but you don't want it floating, because they will drown, but they need the moisture on their skin to be able to breathe. And so you can see some of my paper towels, different things I've put in here. See, some of this is from the fields, where I got it from Farmer John. Try to find you a worm. I was in here already messing around a little bit, so they go and hide. There's one, probably. There's some more eggs, so I'll have baby worms in here soon. But super cool. So they're hanging out, maybe. So they're healthy. I need to feed them some more. What happened was I had put in quite a bit of melons, because the worms actually like melons as their food. They love it. They'll eat it like really fast, but and you don't have to. I think it's better to chop up the food a little bit, because when it's smaller like that, they can eat it better, but you don't have to. I've taken like the ends of my squash that I'm not going to use and put it in there, the whole thing, too, so you could do that. But I got like mites in there, because you're going to have a little bit of mites, but I had a bunch of them because they happen to like the melons too. So I just added more bedding to dry it out a little bit more, and we're right here by the window, so I had taken and took the lid off and moved the bedding back, and allowed the sunlight to hit it and let it dry out a little bit more. And the mites didn't care for that either, so that helped with my mite population, but I hope somebody finds some value, some information, or just enjoys looking at the worms like me. And see y'all next time.